Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your T-shirted historian coming at you live from cyberspace. Somewhere inside your computer across the interwebs, in strange places and locations, at a theater near you. A theater of the mind. All right, it's time for the Week in Geek, and we have some interesting stories this week. We definitely have some interesting commentary from the guests, and I should probably introduce them now. So here we go. Our dear friend Gary is not able to join us again today, but that's all right. We still have the wonderful, the awesome, the always cool-looking Mr. Grimm. Hi. Yeah, you. And we are also joined by Geek Time TV, Mr. Keith.
Hey, what's going on? Gary, you slacker.
Gary is slacking off. And we have the our youngest panelist, but also the guy whose opinions I really love to hear, because I think he brings a lot of interesting views to any stream panel that he is on. And definitely, guys, if you haven't seen him on before, you need to check him out. I think he's going to be big time in the future. Mr. Ash Singh.
Oh, your words are too kind. That was one hell of an intro.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I love being here and talking about all various different pop culture shenanigans. So let's get into it.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, hang on. Let me say hello to our people out in the chat out there. Hang on a minute. Hello, Tim Possible. It is nice to see you. You keep making it to all my shows, man. I'm really happy to see you. Happy to see you. Let's see. We have Tabletop Junkie, who posted in earlier, and yeah, we've met before, I believe, on Ironcaster's stream. Tabletop Junkie, if you want to post up your links to your YouTube channel, let's do it, man. And if you have time and you want to join Grim and I on our Tuesday morning stream, by all means, hit me up after the show. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know, and we'll be glad to include you in the discussion. We're always looking for more people to discuss with. And we have the lovely Six, who loves your background, Keith.
Oh, thank you, Six.
We have Mr. Zax. Oh, sorry.
Nothing.
We have Mr. Zax, who says hello to Ash. We have Squeaka, who may or may not, in fact, be around at the moment. Hello, Squeaka. It's good to see you, too. We were going to have the lovely Becca on the stream, but she appears to have some technical difficulties going on at the moment with her home. So, if she can make it back, that'll be great. But if not, well, we wish her the best of luck, Owning your own business and everything's not easy.
No, it is not.
All right, so... yeah, I'm sorry, Six. I go backwards. What can I say? Yeah, he gets the first hello. I apologize. Hey, just sorry. All right. Well, let's see what we've got on our topics. Actually, first off, I should ask you guys: do you guys have anything cool that you guys have seen during the week? I know you do, Grim. You need to go and plug.
Oh, plug my stuff. Right.
Stuff.
So there's a writer that works for me. Making role-playing games. He's done a variety of supplements based on Italian yellow cover, giallo sort of pulp films and novels. So those are out. And now he's done a sort of Twin Peaks homage called Welcome to St. Cloud, which just came out. And I've put together a retro clone of a generic sort of modern near-future rule set, which will be familiar to people who know Action or Interlock or Cyberpunk 2020. So just put out a retro clone of that system for making your own games. So that's out, and that's called Splat Punk, but the splat is an asterisk. So yeah, you can find all that stuff on post-mort.com.
And I do recommend Grim stuff. He's very reasonably priced, and you get a really decent word count. And I'm hoping that one of these days we're going to work on a project together, aside from our video stuff, because, I've got ideas, Grim, and I know you do too. We're just going to put our talents together and make magic.
I do consultations and stuff as well. So you just, hit me up with your ideas at some point. And
if you need an innocent adventurer kid, you can hit me up.
A victim. Hello, Ironcaster. Hey, I'm glad you stopped in. I know you're busy with some other stuff tonight. Thank you very much for stopping in, man. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I love Ironcaster. I don't get to hang around with that guy as much as I'd like to, but he is a cool guy. He has a good Monday stream that y'all should check out at some point. Keith, you got anything other than heat stroke?
Yeah, heat stroke. Feeling kind of crummy. No, and I came in and found out a Russian bot hit our channel and took one of my videos down, and YouTube allowed it, so I've appealed.
Crap.
Yeah. Don't they know these things? Like, you see who the copyright strike was from, and it's a Russian bot. It's clear that it's a Russian bot, and it's like, doesn't their algorithm snag those things? Do I really have to go through an appeal? So I don't know. It's always something with this platform. Always.
Oh, Grim, there you go.
My good news. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes, Actual Fucking Monsters is a great game. I like it also. Although I have to admit, I really like his new Grim rules, which is going to dovetail into his upcoming Whitechester stuff, which very excited about that. Yeah, Grimdark. Good stuff. I need to get a hard copy of that too. Lulu.com, I know.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out Tabletop Junkie and Ironcaster. I'll stump up for it right now. I'll tell you, it's good stuff. All right. Let's see. Oh, and hey, there's my cousin Fallen 3030. How are you doing, sir? You doing all right? I don't want to use your name on the air.
Oh, too late. We know he's your cousin, so he must be wife beater historian.
Oh, he does wear a wife beater.
That's a good gimmick. Shit. Maybe I have to do that one.
He's a nice guy. He really is. All right. Well, here's our first topic. This wonderful image brought to you by Bounding Into Comics. So, funny thing happened this week. On June 1st, we got a posting that the Ninth Circuit Court Judge Kenneth K. Lee calls The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker mediocre and schlocky in a ruling against ConAgra Foods. It's kind of a long story, but basically, he says, simply put, the new owner of Wesson Oil can resume using the 100% natural label at any time it wishes, thereby depriving the class of any value theoretically afforded by the injunction. ConAgra thus essentially agreed not to do something over which it lacks the power to do. The judge then made a comparison to the 2 Star Wars sequel trilogy films produced by Disney. He wrote, quote, "That is like George Lucas promising no more mediocre and schlocky Star Wars sequels shortly after selling the franchise to Disney. Such a promise would be illusory." And we did try to get a hold of George Lucas to find out what he had to say.
They're dissolving this thing in a molten salt, and they're doing electrochemistry on it. Why don't they call it molten salt? They want...
I had to take the puppy out, so that's the reason why I was late. And hi, everybody. Hi, everybody
And hi,
in chat.
Chad.
Yeah, so.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I wasn't feeling too good. So.
I know. It's okay. We forgive you. So, yeah, if you haven't heard, the funny thing is we got that on June 1st, right? And then, well, yeah. Apparently that's the whole news of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I saw that. I think I retweeted that, too. So.
That was like the day after Jar Jar admitted they had no plan, so it was kind of like a whole...
Yeah.
One thing building on another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Grim. Hey, White Keith. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
He's just Keith on here. He's not White Keith.
That's right.
Okay.
Guys, what happened to quiche? I thought we were going to use Keith.
I know.
Only
What
when
do you
we
think
need
he's
to
gonna
differentiate.
That's only when we need to differentiate. We don't need to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because it was like, oh yeah, that I'm used to when I go over there. I call him that over there, so that everybody doesn't get mixed up. So,
Oh, we're okay
Mike,
here.
what's up?
We only got one Keaton channel right now. So, hello,
Okay.
Mike Beats Dicks. That's a great name. You made me say that on the air too.
Oh, Mike Beats Dicks. He comes over and kicks it up on Foul Ball's channel. He's over there with comics and comes to our channel and a bunch of other places. So he's cool.
Well, cool, because we got some comic news tonight too.
So.
But yeah, I was just kind of wondering what y'all thought about that story about. I mean, a judge actually hating on Star Wars too. Obviously, he's a Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
pretty funny. I mean, when a judge who's, you don't generally think of a judge as someone who's into this kind of stuff.
That's
so
true.
For him to reach down into his back pocket and pull that thing out in a courtroom, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like, yeah, don't even. It's like when I saw that, I was just like, I reposted. I was like, he's right, and I have all my GIFs and everything ready, GIFs, whatever the hell you call them. So I have all that stuff ready when I comment and stuff. So yeah, I was like, yeah. Mike's like, not cool, just addicted to your live stream and voice chats.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we really need some estrogen on this panel somewhere because we got a little bit too much testosterone, I think. But talking about dicks and
we're having a sausage party in honor of Pride. So
there you go. There you go. Well, I feel good. I feel good being being on because if we have to do Pride thing, then I'm proudly pansexual. So there we go.
Yeah. Did you come in Lethal stream this morning when I was there?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. I came in Pablo's stream earlier.
Okay. Oh, I know you came in.
Let me rephrase that. I I come in Pablo's stream. I attended his stream.
Was it all over? That's the reason why he said he has to clean up before he leaves. Okay.
And hello, Kylock. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I brought Jed in today, so the tone is a little bit lower than usual.
Oh yeah, I always change up. That like Foul Ball brought me in for 1 week, and he brought me in for 1 week, and then I became a permanent guest over there weekly. Like I show up on channels, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, bring you in weekly now," like because I have no filter sometimes, so
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Send you in first to take all the flack, so the rest of us look.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They bring me in because I take most of the shit from people, and like, well, just blame Jed over there. So
you're our wild weasel.
Then we Zack Snyder. We are not affiliated with Jed or.
Well, Ash can't say that because he is. So
Oh, sorry, Ash.
Ash can't deny that. So
guilty by proxy.
I kind of feel the need to signal boost another channel while we're at it. Since you brought up Army of the Dead, Phil Mento did a really good review of Army of the Dead, and I thought it was pretty spot on about just how fucked up, stupid that movie really is.
Red Letter did a good review of it too.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do that, man. How do you make a 3-hour-long zombie movie and manage to make it boring?
That's all I've heard from people, and I was like, I've heard from several people that it's god awful, and I was like, well, thank you, saved me from watching it because I was gonna watch it. And then I heard.
I was going to say, has anybody on this panel watched it yet?
No, because and here's the thing: Steph came in the Lethal stream last week, and she spoiled the whole movie for everybody in chat. And then we're like, well, at least we don't have to watch a 3-hour movie now. Now we know how it ends. And so,
because my question is, how much slow mo is in this movie?
There's a lot.
Yes.
It gets really bad at points from everything that I've been told. The people that have actually sat through it.
I actually quite liked it,
Oh no!
You saw it.
but
That's what I've heard
possibly
from a
because
few
of the way my brain works on things. Possibly as I was
Yeah.
hooked on the aesthetic and the world building and the sort of set pieces and so on, and thinking, oh, how can I apply this in a game or something, you know?
Well,
that's,
then
Yeah.
I would suggest watching Phil Mento's video on it because not only does he punch really big holes in the plot, but he also kind of shows you where it should be. And apparently, we have a special guest in the stream tonight. We have Mr. Tommy Wiseau. Hello, Tommy.
I did not hit I did not. Oh, hi, T-shirt.
Hi, hi, Tommy.
Hey, man. What's up?
Wait. That ain't Tommy, is it?
No, it's our buddy Jace from Norway.
Okay, I was like, wait a second, that didn't sound like his voice. I know
No.
his voice.
Yeah.
Nice try.
sounded more authentic.
It did for a minute, but
did.
I was like, nah.
And nobody can really pin down where he's from or anything. So
Yeah, so. Hey,
There we
Jace,
go.
it's good to see
Hello.
you, man.
Good to see you guys too, man.
Yeah,
we were
pointed out.
we were
that
just
Army
shitting
of
on
the Dead-
Star Wars and Army of the Dead.
Yeah, they pointed out that Army of the Dead lifted a lot from Aliens, like a lot.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen the
Yeah.
movie.
I think-
I don't care that much
You're-
either.
If you want to spend your 3 hours more productively, maybe watch Aliens and Dawn of the Dead instead.
Yes. Dawn of the Dead, especially. I mean, and I'm not talking about like the Snyder one. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
original one.
Yeah, the original.
the OG one, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have 3 different cuts of that film here. I've got like the European cut, and the American U.S. cut, and then there's like the spliced together cut where they basically took both parts of the film and just spliced the whole thing together with the whole Goblin soundtrack and everything, and it's really, really good.
Have you guys seen the new Captain America thing? You know, when they have a different Captain Americas,
Oh,
they
Oh,
have
no.
a new one.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
no! What,
At that stupid thing at Disneyland, yeah.
No, the
No.
new character.
There's an actual new.
Oh,
Captain America
yeah.
character.
Lethal showed this morning. The chick that has no tits but a thick ass. Yeah, that one.
Well, okay, that's quite
Yeah.
a qualifier, but
Talking about
okay.
no filter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's so flat you could put a beer in her and it wouldn't knock over. So
Is this the one where they've kind of turned Captain America into a franchise sort of thing?
yeah,
There we go.
it's like
Yeah.
Captain America of the week every week now. So.
It's every
Okay,
month.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
that looks kind of cool.
She's a
because
Filipino or something.
she looks
Yeah.
kind of like an anime character.
Yeah,
She
that's
is-
what we were saying this
Yeah, she
morning
does.
in Lethal.
I
Her
wonder why they're trying to make their
Yeah.
characters look manga.
That's
Yeah.
true.
We all
Uh-huh.
know why, because they're losing, So
Well, her name is Ari Agbayani. She is a Filipino Captain
Yeah.
America.
Vulnerable to head pats.
It's actually
Yeah.
it's got that 40s retro look to it.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I like the shield because it does look very retro.
It could work
Well,
in anime, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Are they just going to do one for every state and territory?
Yeah, they, actually,
I think so.
they've been doing one.
Five.
They released one for 4 weeks in a row now. So
They're doing 5 total. It's every month. It's a mini series where he's on a road trip with Falcon, and they're meeting these Captain America wannabes or something. It's like a
Yeah.
Bat family kind of thing. It's not good.
Well,
At least she looks better than the other one that had that leg open, and that one was just god awful.
Yeah, I agree. This might be the best one so far.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. This is the best looking one out of the bunch so far.
because you had the
So-
homeless
yeah, that's
guy,
true.
the Indian
Yeah.
guy, the
Oh, he looked like he was in a casino, came from a casino, or
Oh,
he like Vince McMahon put his costume together. So
yeah, there you go.
he's like, Stone Cold gonna come out of somewhere. Oh hell yeah, and just stuns the guy in the middle of the place. So.
well, Ash, you had something to say about it. What did you say?
Well, like I was saying earlier, it looks a lot like a manga character, so it for that reason it does look pretty cool. But as Keith already pointed out, manga is doing much better than the Western comic industry. So there's it's a no-brainer to try and copy a manga art style to try and tap into that market because of how successful it is. The shield does look cool, But I mean, come on, it's Pride Month. I'm expecting a Captain America in a full rainbow costume. So rather than a
and assless
female
chaps.
I wouldn't put it
It
past
might happen
them.
when you talk about it. Something
Yeah,
happens.
I honestly think they're just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. So like, okay, let's put the shield. Let's make her a little bit anime-ish and like do her up some. There's the new Captain America for this week, month, or whatever. You know,
I cannot help thinking.
I'm waiting for Captain Alaska. She's just gonna be a moose that somehow got a shield core on its horns.
Well, to be honest, her comic costume kind of doesn't make sense because her forearms, her legs, and her head from the nose up are all open targets. So
kind of funny, and Six said it in the chat that she's wearing a mask. She must not be vaccinated. But when you think about it, this is an Asian character, and they've been wearing these masks for 20 years, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Kind of another stereotypical trope that they tag on someone to. That's all they do. They make
or maybe the artist can't draw mouths.
Yeah, or they can't draw. Right?
Yeah, they're like, let's do this the easy way, you know, and just put a mask over.
Six, I want pictures.
Yeah, I want to see pictures of that too.
Me too. Let's go.
I don't know. I don't think she's a terrible looking character. I'm kind of like, she looks kind of young for the role, but I mean, okay. I mean, I don't really have a problem with them doing this with Captain America because obviously this is what they're committed to. But I can't help thinking, Jed, that you are right. They are kind of basically just throwing a bunch of ideas in a bag and then throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks. Because I seem to recall back in, I want to say 2019, 2018 or something like that, they had the Marvel annuals going.
Mm-hmm.
And every single annual had a brand new character premiere in it, and I don't think any of those characters were ever used again. But you had characters like the Bantam.
They weren't.
Yeah.
They just one comic like a fart in the wind. So you know,
I don't think these will be used again either. I think it's just for this special series kind of thing. But
and I found out that Batman has a new partner this day. I found out he has a new partner named Ghostmaker.
Oh yeah, he's been around for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's their
Ghostmaker.
He's
Ghostmaker
like for Batman. Yeah.
Why that name? It's
terrible. It's not a good character.
No, I just saw it today. Saw it today. So.
Yeah, he's been in like 6-7 issues now.
Oh,
it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm Ghostmaker.
He's a ninja from Bruce Wayne's past, and now he's
Ghostmaker.
And his costume looks like Storm Shadow. You know, like
I see that.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, you know, I think DC at this point is committed to turning the entire thing into a ghost town. I don't know. It's almost as if somebody was behind all of it.
Oh man,
Walter Hamada. No, I said the word, so maybe the other Keith will show up now.
No, it's like exactly. It's like a dog whistle for him.
Come here, boy. Come here. No.
If you speak the name Hamada, Keith will appear. But yeah,
a tirade.
Yes, hour-long tirade usually. But anyway, we really didn't shit all over Star Wars as much as I thought we would. So I'm kind of guessing that Star Wars is kind of played out.
I wasn't here.
A federal judge.
Hashtag fuck Disney. So let me say.
I say a federal judge shitting on Star Wars is like high caliber shit there.
It really is. I mean,
Disney Star Wars is dead. So
did anybody see that new Avengers Academy bullshit?
No.
Where they actually brought Falcon. I call him Falcon. Fuck up. The Falcon out, and then he goes, and then Feige goes, "This is the real Captain America." Okay, get this, and it's on one of the YouTube channels. And then, because Lethal showed it this morning, and then they had him come out and they made a big deal about it. Okay, and then they go, "I would proudly introduce Captain America," and I was just like, "What?" So you just called him the real Captain America, but then you have an actor coming out as Captain America.
I think Kevin Feige's in for a shock when all this Phase 4 stuff ends up.
Oh, it's gonna blow up in his face, and
Yep.
I'm gonna giggle like a bastard. Like,
I
honestly.
don't know. Maybe, okay, I have a theory. Maybe Feige is trying to get out of his Disney contract and stuff, and this is his way of doing it.
Well,
He figures,
by adapting the Axel Alonso run of Marvel Comics from 4 years ago, he's well on his way.
I guess we could. It could be worse though. It could always be worse. We could always get America Chavez on the big screen.
Oh,
Oh, she's going to be in one of these.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna come.
No.
No?
So. Yeah, if you go back to that Disney Investor Day from December, and I have the clip actually somewhere on one of my drives because I've used it in an open. He
Oh my
says
God.
America's popular, one of the most popular characters in our roster of America.
That's not saying much.
No,
Yeah, most popular. That's like saying Captain
As
Marvel
compared
is
to who?
popular.
Her book topped out at 6,000 sales.
Yeah.
6,000 copies sold.
It didn't sell
Kylock
well.
says
It
it all.
bombed. It bombed literally.
6,000 is atrocious. That's
Yeah, it is.
That's the highest it hit. It's awful.
well, I mean, I hate to sound like this, but I'm always bitching about, like, okay, all these superheroes are screaming for representation. I'm kind of like, well, where's our Hispanic superheroes? And then they show with America Chavez. I'm like, no, not like that.
Yeah. In fact, let me share. I'll share something for.
Okay.
There's a question in the chat from Kylock who says, "Who's America Chavez?"
Get ready for this.
Get ready for this. Hang on a second, and let me zoom up first before you pull it into.
What about Sunspot? He was a cool character.
Sunspot was
Great.
cool. I
He was
liked
an
him.
asshole.
Oh yeah,
In the
that
new-
picture,
in the
Jesus
New
fucking
Mutants,
Christ.
he
It
was
looks like
kinda
she's
cool.
taking a fucking shit.
Read this.
Yeah.
Read this. This is unbelievable.
I'm literally intrigued and in awe of both of them. If this is what it's like to date other women, then I applaud all the women dating women right now because this is incredible. Motorcycle courtship chase? Check. Missiles and explosions? Yep. And now we're just flying together in the sky heading to a giant heart. I swear, if they come back married, I'm going to be so jealous. Always the bride's best archer, never the archer bride. Are you fucking kidding me? Who wrote this shit?
That's
Oh,
King
get
Bishop.
this.
That's
Get
America
this.
Chavez flying away
Yeah.
with. I don't know who that is. But
And you know
A
how
woman
she
who's
goes through
she
things?
wants to take a shit. Look
Yeah.
at that face. She just really want to take a shit.
Yeah, she's got that constipated, I need to take a shit look. So,
Yep.
so that's
But-
what you get when you buy America Chavez comics, folks.
but you know how America Chavez, like other ways she gets around, she punches holes through reality, like, and then she teleports, and this big ass star comes out,
Why do
and
you
that's
know
how
that?
she teleports. Yeah, it's stupid.
So that's what they're doing. They're going to teleport away, apparently,
Yeah.
together to the. Oh my god. So that's coming. to Phase 4.
Everyone forgets North Star, don't they?
No,
Yeah,
North Star
no.
was cool, you know.
Well, that's the thing. We just mentioned North Star the other
Yep,
day.
we
and
did.
it's-
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, when North Star was introduced as a homosexual character in the comics, it was kind of like, okay.
We didn't care.
We
It
did,
felt
yeah, it was-
natural.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fine.
dude, I didn't have any problem with that.
None.
I was like,
Because
cool.
They
They're-
didn't change the
the same.
character. He was still
Right.
the same character.
Same, exactly. That's exactly right. But when they did
And
it to
there's-
Iron Man, they completely altered Iceman.
And it's been hinted that Hercules is bisexual too. So now it's like, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
in
was
one
like,
of the
oh,
universes in Marvel, in one of the universes, Hercules is gay with Wolverine.
Are you serious?
cool.
Nope.
it-
Wolverine
it,
has
like-
golden claws, like his claws are made of gold, basically, and he has and they are gay. They are lovebirds.
What the
Well-
fuck kind of writing is that? Gold is
Greek-
the softest fucking metal ever.
Greek myth, everyone
It
was
is.
bi or zoosexual, so you know,
Yeah.
it's not that much of a stretch.
True.
So if we ever get Wolverine on screen on MCU, it might be that Wolverine, with Hercules,
Well, see, that's the thing, Mike. Is that I didn't mind them making Iceman gay either, but the deal is, it's just the way they did it and the way that they continue to play it off. I mean, he and Dakin, who is also supposed to be bisexual, are
he's always been bi.
He's always been bi.
Nobody cared.
But it was low key, it was like no big deal. He's bi. It's not like it's not like he was getting,
he used sex for mostly using people.
Oh, Ash, you have an admirer.
I just saw that. I don't know whether to be flattered or concerned.
I know this lady. She's very nice.
Okay, nice. Then I'm flattered. Thank you.
Hint, hint.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind having pansexual, bisexual, gay, or transgender characters in the comic books, but the way with which they are portraying them as just basically walking out and hitting you over the head with their sexuality is bullshit, man.
That's right. We all know people like this that don't. We're people. We're people. People are people, right? You don't change you don't alter the way they behave just because they identify a certain way.
Exactly. It's like most.
It's just yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. It's just Ash and I are pansexuals, but it's not like we
I'm
walk
bisexual.
around. You're what?
I'm bisexual.
What is the difference?
There's
I'm
actually
bipolar sexual.
Okay, bisexual is men or women. Pansexual is it doesn't matter as long as there's an emotional connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Okay.
They're kind of the same thing, but they're also kind of not.
Well, I don't want to get into all the semantics over the two of them, but basically my understanding is the term bisexual is outdated now because it's possible that if you're attracted to men or women, it's possible you may be attracted to someone of a gender that presents as one of the two, but may not necessarily correspond to one of the two.
Well, I have always identified as the bisexual, and I never cared about gender at all. That's how I always looked at it since I was a kid.
Exactly.
So then, by definition, that would be pan.
And I remember when pansexual became a thing on Tumblr. I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
That's where it started.
So according to Wizard Jim's comment, does that make me super bi then?
Super bi.
Only if you were.
Didn't I make a joke about that like 2 weeks ago? That you were super bi? Yeah, I think I made a joke about that.
T-shirt. I'm sharing I'm sharing the screen now. Now you can see Hercules and Wolverine.
Oh no.
So one's regardless of gender, and the other one's regardless of gender. Is that right?
I don't know anymore.
There we go.
I'm confused.
Is that Hercules?
Yes,
not my
with
business.
Wolverine.
It's not my business
That's
what you
Wolverine.
do with your genitals.
Oh, damn. Someone get me that comic. Jesus.
And you have
Why is Wolverine snogging Hercules?
Wait a minute. That's not a real cover.
Why
is it?
not, Jed? Why
it
not?
is.
Fucking
It is.
real.
Wow. Well, okay then.
Yeah, it
Was
is
it officially? I take it this is officially released by Marvel.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this kind of stuff should remain in the realm of fan fiction rather than official stuff, because you have the official characters created by the original creators, and I feel they should, even with new iterations, if you want to change a bit for certain stories or like other Elseworld style stories, they should have as much resemblance to the original source material as possible. Yes, if you want to gender bend, if you want to race swap, I personally don't have too much of an issue if the writing and personality of the character is close to the source material. Now, a lot of stuff nowadays is not. So, and I'm finding out the opposite way, whereas a lot of people
Maybe
grew up with the source material.
one day we will get a movie of The Rock, Hercules with Jackman's Wolverine kissing.
I doubt it.
I'm not
stuff,
sure
but-
that I'd like to see that, but it'd be interesting to watch nonetheless.
I
kinda doubt it.
I'm just impressed they managed to get Tuukka Laaksonen to do the artwork, considering he's been dead since 1991.
Yeah.
Oh, Hercules is back. Like, he came back in the Iceman comic too with Dakin and everything, and he's gay. He's like gay there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like literally all the X-Men are bi in the comic now. Like at that one point when we read out on Nick's show, when we read out that new X-Men comic, Storm wanted to bang Jean. Jean wanted to bang Logan and Scott.
I thought those were the kids, not the.
No,
the
there was
adults.
actually a couple panels where they had the original team in there, and they were all talking about fucking one another.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yay.
Then
It was
went
that
to-
bad.
Hey, let's
Guys.
never forget Quicksilver and Scarlet
Oh, I know.
in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh god.
Incest,
Yeah, I
anyone?
remember that.
While Wolverine is watching.
Incest, you mean?
Incest
Yeah.
much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While
All right,
Wolverine is
all right,
watching
all right.
them.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next topic.
It's spiraling too much.
Actually,
Move
yeah,
on, move on.
we're spiraling way too much.
Marvel.
But it
I
does
had that
dovetail
at-
nicely into this.
Fact on streams T-shirt. Yeah. So.
All right. As some of you may know, yeah, Neil Gaiman, one of the hot topics on hot properties right now that's coming up to Netflix is Neil Gaiman's adaptation of the Sandman stories.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I love those comics. I really did. I thought they were very well written, and definitely for the time they brought a lot of very enlightened thinking into my life. Not to mention they had a transgender character in that series, which for the 90s was something. Yeah. So anyway, they've announced all the casting with all the pronouns of all the different actors and actresses and what have you. And the one that everybody is really going apeshit about is Death. This is the representation of Death as she appeared in the comics, more or less. I mean, she was a little bit more stylized in most of the other pictures, but
Yeah, she was a little bit more.
she was originally based on Winona Ryder's look. That's how Gaiman conceived her. But yeah, in the upcoming series, she's being played by a black woman, which apparently is causing all kinds of controversy. And I don't know really how to think about this. On the one hand, I'm like all about, if it's a good actress and they bring something really good to the part, then the race, the color, the ethnicity doesn't matter. But at the same point, it's kind of not what I was expecting. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about it?
A few things.
Okay.
What I've tried to impress on people who are accusing anyone who objects of being racist is the fact that back when the Sandman was being written, there wasn't a lot of countercultural representation in media, right? And for a hell of a lot of young women during the sort of goth revival period, Death was a really important figure.
Absolutely.
And so they've been looking forward to seeing Death represented on the screen, whether in TV or film or whatever, for a very long time, only to now find that representation of them, which these people normally say is very important, is not going to happen. And that the character seems to have been arbitrarily race swapped, which is what upsets them. It's not racism, it's that this is an iconic character from my formative years that I used to look up to and dress like and poured over every word, and that's been taken away from me. So it's not racism. I'm sure there are some racists out there, but for the vast majority of people, that's not what the problem is. Plus, her appearance partially was based on a real woman from the goth scene who died not so long ago.
Yes.
So it would have been a nice commemoration to have Death, as she appears in the comics, as she was based on this real person, up on the screen as well. I wonder if some of this is backlash to what happened around American Gods with Orlando Jones being removed and all the accusations of racism around that. Maybe they thought, maybe we'd better overcompensate the other way with the casting of the characters. The pronoun stuff is just silly. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, but it's just, yeah, it's a red flag to a bull, really.
Yeah, I agree. And I hadn't actually thought of it that way. Yeah, that would be kind of important to get it kind of right as far as the look of the character, because all throughout the comic books, she was always represented the same way. Now, some of the other characters could appear a little bit differently. You know, you had Desire, who was kind of gender fluid even in the comic books. You had Delirium, who was she was originally Delight, and her appearance would change a little bit, but and you know, then there was Dream, who, you know, the Sandman, stayed more or less consistent.
I think that's what it is. It's that one character, Death. I mean, when you think about Death, and I know, you know, across the board in any lore, it's an absence of life. There's no pigmentation anymore. It's black and white. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So now all of a sudden they put you know, a person of color in the role where they're gonna. It doesn't represent death. It doesn't look like the blood's been drained and there's no life left in this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
I think if they use that actress anywhere else, it wouldn't be a problem. It's that character. That's the problem. That's what I'm probably wrong.
And yeah, Dream is Morpheus, the Sandman.
Right.
Yeah, goths are wonderful. Jace, what do you got to say about this, man?
No, I haven't read any of the Sandman. It's on my list, so I can't say much.
Shame on you.
Well, I saw it on Outland, the comic store in Norway. They have like a big collection thing with Sandman, and I've been thinking about buying it.
You totally should. There is like an unwritten list of comics that you really need to read before you die. Obviously, some of the big ones would be like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, pretty much anything.
Watchmen, V for Vendetta. Yeah.
But I would include the Sandman, the whole Sandman series by Neil Gaiman, because that's high caliber.
I've just heard good things
reading.
about it. I've heard just good things about it, and I will.
6, I think that is actually. I don't know. Are we picking up Jed's mic or something?
I don't know. I have the air conditioner on because it's over 100 degrees. So
you need the air conditioning.
Well, I can't. I don't have any windows to take up here. Like I just have windows, but I can't take the windows up. So it's super warm.
I know
in
it's
here.
not me. Yeah, I know it's not me because I was just on Pablo's and we had no problem. So,
what are you hearing?
I
Like
can hear
people talking in the background.
Yeah, that's not me. I muted everything. So.
That's my fault. I share an office with my wife, and her computer just suddenly started playing something. But I've got to get her to come through and
It happens.
Okay, it's no problem.
I'll just mute myself when I'm not talking.
Okay.
I thought we were getting piped in crowd noise.
Yeah, I was like, that's not me.
That's what we.
Jed, what did you have to say about this?
I think it's ridiculous. Whenever I think of death, always I think of it as like you said, white, like Jay said, white, lifeless, black, sick. With the black lipstick and kind of looking very goth, because that's and most of it, and even when Marvel did it, Lady Death was like, she had the purple hood on and she had the skull face and she was white too,
Mm-hmm.
Death should be white, faceless, grayless, they're just doing this for virtue signal points, basically.
You think so?
Yeah, they are. They're trying to check the boxes again.
And also by doing it, I mean, by posting that on Twitter, they're clearly they want to point out, oh, there they go again. The toxic fans, look, they're all upset. They're pissed off. They're ists and phobes and everything else.
But yeah, I was talking to Grim before the stream, and I told him, I said I'd read the open letter from Neil Gaiman for Netflix, and it very much, it reads kind of like I had to write this. Somebody at Netflix was telling me to write this.
Kind of like John Cena's apology, where you could tell they're behind him with the bayonets. Like,
Oh yeah, his John Cena. I used to like him a little bit. And like, here's a weird thing: John Cena follows me on Twitter, and I don't know why either.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. And John Cena is I don't shit on John Cena. He's actually a really good guy.
Yeah, but bowing down to the man and dude.
He didn't have a choice, Jed. He did not have a choice. He had
another thing that Disney's monitoring that situation very carefully, because the box office over there went right in the toilet for that movie.
Oh yeah, and especially they're not going to get any money from Eternals. They're not going to get any money from Shang-Chi, or however you say it. I've been around since the comics started, and I still can't say it. But they're not going to get any. There was another thing that was over there. Oh yeah, Fast and Furious 9 is tanking over in there now too. So there's like 3 movies that have just tanked within the past month.
But it went down. It went down like 85% after.
Yeah, nobody wants it over there. Like, and I don't know why Hollywood.
And the new Fast and Furious movie is boring as hell.
Yeah, and I don't know why Hollywood is bending to these people, because they don't want any of the stuff over there. They're telling you, hey, piss off, and then Disney pissed them off on top of it. So. And then they got into a fight, and then it's bloody ridiculous, dude. It's just, yeah. And so what Six said, there's always a choice.
When you lay down the dogs, expect to get fleas.
Mm-hmm. There's always a choice, and I gotta say that, man. He had a choice, And John Cena is supposed to be Mr. American, like Mr. I'm with the soldiers and all this other shit. And then he spit in the face of everybody when he did that.
He's used to cashing big blockbuster paychecks.
Yeah.
He wants to keep cashing those checks. He doesn't want to start over again.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, all the people who worked on those films are also looking at trying to get paychecks. And if the films tank and they don't get the China money, those people may not get hired on for the next film. So, he was trying to save jobs. Script Doctor kind of, set me straight on the whole John Cena situation back when it first happened. And after listening to him, Script Doctor knows John Cena personally. He says he's a good guy. He's done a lot of shit for charity. He's always doing all the stuff for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
I don't think anything less of him. I think he's a good guy. He's a genuine guy. But I'm not gonna shit on him.
I'm not gonna shit on him either. It's frustrating to see somebody that I did, because dude, I've been a wrestling fan since I was like born, like Hogan and DVI and like the stuff from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, 90s, like the Attitude Era, all the stuff, it's just, WCW, all that stuff. And it was frustrating to see somebody that, you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. And it is frustrating that we've got a country that pretty much dictates to our country's entertainments what they can do and what they can't do. Yeah. But that's just kind of the way it goes, man. I mean, when you have a population that is that big, that is spending that much money on your products, you want a little piece of that dollar action too.
But they're telling, and this is when I said this, they're telling us they don't want these products over there. They're voting. This is what we need to do. And I say this, there are some of us to do this. China's voting with their wallets over there right now. And a lot more people over here in America need to start doing that. Not just the Phantom Menace or any of the other, side factions or Comicsgate or any of these. There needs to be more than just that. And over there, they're voting with their wallets that they don't want that.
Well, we're voting with them here.
Yeah,
it's as a result of the unity from Chinese ultranationalism, though, which you don't have, thankfully. it's a good thing that our audiences are more diverse and can support different things, But Chinese nationalism's way out of control.
Oh yeah, I know it is since Tiananmen, even since before Tiananmen Square,
Yeah.
So,
well,
Right.
and more so in recent years, I think.
Yeah,
The current leader is much more bullish, and less interested in being part of the greater world, I think. So.
Yeah.
Ash, you've been really quiet about this. I take it you probably haven't read The Sandman?
He's taking notes for his red Chinese masters.
well, that being said, I do know Chinese, and I have been to Shanghai, so red Chinese masters might not be too far off. No, I haven't read Sandman, and from the look of it, from the look of the cast, I take it the actress for Death is black, so I think that's where the main controversy lies. For me personally, I don't have an issue with what color actress Death is, as long as Death is written true to the comics, like the personality, the way the character walks, talks, that kind of thing. But again, I didn't read the original comics, so I couldn't comment too much. But for me, growing up in my religion, we have never really had a Death as a physical figure. It's always a cycle of reincarnation, so I couldn't comment too much on Death as it is. I mean, we could just take the afterlife as some sort of devil, like Lil Nas's devil video of him humping on the devil and stuff like that.
But pure shock value.
Oh yeah, pure shock value. But it's an interesting one. Again, it's like every time I see a black actress cast, the annoying thing is my first thought immediately is, did they cast the actress or actor as a token, or did they genuinely cast them as for their talent? Because we're now at a point where the industry is changing characters as tokens. So we've got like a black cat Superman, a black Captain America, we've got a Native American Captain America, all these other things of Captain America. And Captain America was originally written as a white male. So again, it's an interesting topic.
They're actually auditioning people they're looking for certain things with the audition. It's not like an open roll call anymore, and they're not picking the best person. They're specifically saying you must look like that, you must be gay, you must be this, you must be that, and that's why we're getting this.
Yeah, and that technically that kind of hiring is illegal, which doesn't help anything. Esh, what do you think of that drama we've got in the UK at the moment, where Anne Boleyn is being played by a black woman?
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't have too much of an issue, because for me, why not? We know Anne Boleyn is white. We know the history. We know this is the way the historical figure is. We know the historical figure wasn't black. So why not have a depiction of the character with a black actress?
Well, they're trying to
Ash.
That's the way I look at it.
I will say this. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
That's right. I was just going to say, but if you reverse the situation, if we had a white ginger woman playing Cleopatra or something, can you imagine?
People would shit.
Yeah, they would get shit bricks. Like, what are you doing?
It's not equal treatment. It's not equal consideration.
Exactly. Yeah, there is that. There is. I have thought long and hard about that. There is that double standard. Like, if you changed a black written character and replaced it with a white actor, there'd be mass uproar left, right, and center.
Yeah. Bucky for Black Panther. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, it's like even years ago in this country, we had we had a lot of movies featuring Native Americans, and they were played by white stuntmen and white actors until eventually that got overturned, and it went into print that if you were going to have a Native American part, you had to have somebody of Native American ancestry playing that part, or at least able to, prove so much ancestry in order to do it, which I'm not sure how they got away with Johnny Depp being Tonto, but neither here nor there. But the
Johnny
point
Depp
is,
put butts in seats. That's why.
Yeah,
I
he
guess
put butts
so.
in seats. Yeah.
Doesn't he have some tiny part of Native American heritage? And I think that's how they got away with it.
I think he must have had enough Native American heritage in order to qualify him for the part.
Yeah. I'm more bothered by changing historical characters.
Yeah.
And I'm
me
more
too,
bothered
Grim.
by changing mythological characters from the past and history of various nations and cultures. If it's translations from comics and so on, like personally, I'm not that bothered by the change for death. But what does bother me is the way that people's objections are being misrepresented. That's the part that pisses me off.
Grim, I will say this. So, okay, say we do that. Okay, we cast her as a white, we had white history character, and they put a black one, and then they do it again, and then they do it again, and then they do it again. It doesn't stop. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until history is rewritten and go, oh yeah, do you remember her? She was black. No, she wasn't. She was white.
That's
do you see what I'm saying?
They're already They're doing that
Yeah.
already. They've been trying.
We already have some of that from like the Black Hebrew Israelites
Yeah.
and the Nation of Islam and so on. At the moment, it's very, very fringe. I'm not fond of slippery slope arguments.
Yeah.
I don't know that it will happen that way, but it's certainly possible.
Well, Jed, your point is proven by the fact that the only Nick Fury I've known is Sam Jackson.
Yeah, and
that's
Nick
the
Fury was originally white.
Exactly. Like looking back at the original comics, Nick Fury was originally a white character. Now, I don't have too much of an issue with Sam Jackson because I completely agree
Sam's
with,
awesome. I
Mike Beats' comment. Like he has so much to his character and so much of the acting, and that is Nick Fury. He's the leader of the organization. Like, you know where he stands. But yeah,
and that was kind of a soft reboot from the Ultimates anyway.
Yeah,
so it wasn't so jarring.
Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't have a problem with because he looked like Ultimate Nick Fury, and they cast the right person to be Nick Fury. Okay, I had no problem because that was actually some comic book stuff. But just casting people for oh, you're gay, you get this, you're lesbian, oh, you're black, you're Indian. That gets on my nerve because, like I said, they are trying to erase gingers and redheads from the face of the earth right now.
True.
Like Red Sonja is not going to be Red Sonja. She's just going to be Sonja when she comes out. They're not even casting a ginger or a redhead for it. It's just
I still can't understand what the thing is with
a big
that.
problem in Hollywood.
you that's not Red Sonja. It's just going to be Sonja, like literally
brunette Sonja.
Like, yeah. So
it's we don't know their future plans for the rest of that show. So maybe she dons a wig for Red Sonja. Maybe she gets some sort of powers and buffs up like Steve Rogers to Cap America, and then her hair dyes red. We don't know yet, but I don't have too high hopes for that IP.
Maybe it'll be like Tank Girl, because you're Tank Girl, Jet Girl, and Sub Girl. So we'll have Red Sonja, Blonde Sonja, Brunette Sonja, Bald Sonja.
Red Sonja, eventually.
Mohawk Sonja.
Yeah.
I got it.
Cardinal Sin. I sent you a link there, man. If you want to participate, so just hop on that.
But that is a big problem in Hollywood. Every ginger get replaced.
Oh yeah,
every single one.
And it's a huge problem. If you're a redhead or a ginger, you're screwed.
Yep.
Like literally.
Yeah, we still don't understand that one. If we had Kate here, I'm sure she would tell us.
Yeah.
In no uncertain terms.
Oh, I know, because it's been brought up with Kate before, and she gets furious on that matter.
Oh yeah, Grim and I were there.
Yeah,
I still remember my first.
I've been there a few times where she went off. So
I still remember my first reaction when I saw Starfire.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, why? Like.
It looks so terrible.
She had a hooker coat on with like And I was just like, that's not Starfire, dude. Like,
Well,
She only
why?
needs the OnlyFans, and then everything's in bucks. You know,
Yeah.
that's all she needs.
Well, I could tell by Grimm's background. I know what he wants to talk about. So why don't we move on to our next topic? We've got the Lord of the Rings, and man, there's been a bunch of stuff about that this
Oh
week.
yeah.
Good.
So much stuff about Lord of the Rings this week.
Mhm.
Let's see where we're going to start. Well, at the One Ring fan site, they recently described J.R.R. Tolkien as being white, or as woke. I'm sorry.
Woke.
Yeah.
Yes, as woke, and
Oh, and racist too. So
I don't remember the racist part, but actually, what he wrote in his tweet was, "Listen, we've been dealing with homophobic comments for decades, and it's still wrong. Whatever toxic arguments are being said now about Lord of the Rings fandom and adaptations is the same trash that said Ian McKellen was the worst affront to Tolkien's legacy ever. #Pride."
Where are they getting this shit?
I don't know where they're getting that shit, because
Yeah,
that infuriates me, because even okay,
Nobody has said it. I don't know.
I've never heard anybody say he was.
I've never heard anybody say that either.
Me neither.
Matter of fact,
No.
I didn't
Okay,
even know McKellen was gay until
yeah.
after I had already watched the movie. And I made the joke to my friend. I said, "Oh, so he's Gandalf the gay?" And it was kind of like, yeah, we giggled about it and we went on. It was never mentioned again.
Yeah.
Everyone loves him.
Nobody cares that he's gay.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares that he's
See,
gay.
The only thing
Yeah,
close to a complaint is how people tried to portray Sam and Frodo as being gay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
That's
my
the only thing I've
God.
seen people complain about.
Keep that shit in fan fictions, guys.
There's a
Jeez.
Oh, it's
lot
not,
of fan
because
fiction about that.
Amazon has a word to say with you on that one. So
We're gonna dovetail into that. Jed.
They are
Don't get ahead
good
of me.
best. They are just good fucking friends. They're not gay. They're best friends, dude.
Okay, I just want to make a quick point on Gandalf and Ian McKellen. Right, I didn't watch Lord of the Rings at the cinemas when it came out. I still haven't read the Lord of the Rings books. I love Lord of the Rings for Lord of the Rings. Even after I found out Ian McKellen was gay, I don't care. He's Gandalf. He's not Gaydelf. Okay?
Yes.
And he's a good actor.
Exactly. He's an
Fuck's
excellent
sake.
actor.
He's an international treasure, is what he is.
Like-
and
He is.
When I
you
watched the original X-Men film, sorry to cut you off there. When I watched the original X-Men films, I don't think of Magneto as being gay Magneto. I think of as
Me
Magneto.
neither.
He portrays his characters perfectly
does.
in every essence, and he's the perfect embodiment of the personal life doesn't matter when it comes to portraying certain characters, and he does that very well. And again, with Lord of the Rings, I watch it for Lord of the Rings, the fantasy, the world building, everything in
Yeah.
between. Not because whether a character's gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, red, white, blue, yellow, orange, pink, or green. Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's like these people can't separate the actor or the creator from the performance or the end product, and then they
Exactly.
project that same assumption onto everybody else.
But what they're doing here is this fan site is gaslighting, because
Yes.
they are not providing a single shred of evidence that this ever happened. And it's really, I don't know a single person who's ever said that Ian McKellen ruined Lord, and everyone loves that man.
he
Exactly.
actually made it better than it was.
I agree.
So
He brings
he
gravitas.
gave it 110%.
He brings a
Yeah.
gravitas to every role he takes.
Yeah.
I'm
Guys,
pretty sure he was knighted by the Queen.
He was
as
a
well.
good
It's
Sherlock
like
Holmes
Ian
also
McKellen.
in that Sherlock Holmes movie that he made.
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is them. This is them getting in, because they put #Pride in all these tweets that you have there, T-shirt.
Mhm.
It's clear that this is, look, we're virtue signaling, right? We're looking at score. We're scoring points for Pride Month. We're making up. We're making a straw man that doesn't exist, and we're vilifying fans again
Yep.
to virtue signal and to score points with our overlords, because they're access media. They want access to this new show.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're going to
That is true.
they're throwing the fan base in the trash for their own gain.
Yeah,
It's
and
Typically, after
they went on.
Lord of the Rings fans on YouTube.
They did go on to further state, cogent, respectful debate on Tolkien is always welcome, but homophobic, racist, misogynistic trash is always a case for banning. Period. It's not what Tolkien fandom is, wants, or welcomes. Period.
This is hot on the heels of them saying that they used to be able to ban people on the old message boards, and they can't do that anymore. In other words, if you disagree with what we put here, we'll just kick you. But they can't.
They do better now. They blockchain you.
Right.
So if you're related to somebody who, or you're following somebody who happens to disagree with them, they block you. They block them. They block everybody who's related to you, and the discourse gets shut down before there can be any discourse.
There's no.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been blocked by several people because I know Tom, or I've talked to Az, or I've talked to Gary, and so on and so on. So I've been in a few blockchains, or put in a few blockchains already.
Yeah, I remember that happened to me with Star Wars Explained or something. Yeah. Because I followed Geeks and Gamers and stuff, and
and I've said something to Jeremy, or I've talked to Anna, or I've actually talked to Ethan, or people just like. Yeah. So.
Well, there's a bunch of us as well. Like I've seen a tweet where someone's got blocked by someone just because they were following Geeks and Gamers, for example.
Yeah.
And then we're like, has anyone else had this? And I had a look, and it turns out I was blocked by this person as well. And so it's like what they're doing is they're excluding by association because they don't like a certain group. Anyone that follows. They're just going down a list, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. The worst part for me is when they go through your friends list and they contact people from your friends list and say, you're following this person. Didn't you know that they are an unpersoned individual, a suppressive person? It's cult behavior. It is.
It's...
Yep.
Grim has a lot of personal experience with this kind of shunning and cultish behavior where they basically try to get everybody against you, and they try to shut you out, isolate you, and basically poke at you until you
snap. Yeah.
That is.
Then they go, aha. It reminds me of my childhood because my brother was like 4 years younger than me, and I'd be trying to watch television or something, and he'd be like, poke, 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 poke. Wouldn't stop. So eventually, after like an hour of this, you go, fuck off, or smack him one. And then it goes running, Mom, he hit me. Mom, it's like that. It's like they will attack you for days and days and days. The moment you bite back, see, you were a horrible person all along.
Yes. I had a stepbrother that did that, and he kept poking, and just one day I just like knocked him on his ass, and then he started crying. I was like, "You saw what he was doing? He deserved that shit." I literally just came around and just boom, knocked him on his ass.
The problem is we live in a society that frowns on it, and not to mention the fact that even if you could go knock somebody on their ass for being a dick to you, there is kind of a thing of internet anonymity that kind of prevents that in the first place. I mean, you could go to somebody's house and find out through doxing and go, try to take a swing at them, but that's going to get you thrown in prison or jail.
That's prison time because that's stalking and everything else.
Yeah, so. Just ask Boogie all about that one. But
it's like hockey. The guy who retaliates always gets the penalty.
Oh yeah,
and I never did get that in hockey, but I love hockey too. So, but it's all, and I played hockey too, dude.
Yeah, I play too.
How many times I got penalized or put in a box because that asshole started it, and then I go and clock him, and then like, well, because he threw the first punch, and then I go swing back, and I was like, are you fucking blind, ref? He threw the first fucking punch.
That's like
and so I swing back and throw my gloves down and go to tat on him, and like, you're going to. I was like, are you blind? Like,
we do actually have a law in the books in Texas. It's, it says it's the he needed killing law, but I don't really think I'd want to try to use that as a defense.
Yeah.
But still, back to the Lord Marines thing. I've never heard any of my friends or people I know hating on Ian or anything.
No.
Never. They all loved him.
Yeah.
What gets me about this, though, is not so long ago everyone was arguing that Tolkien was a filthy racist, on as bad as H.P. Lovecraft, or and orcs were black people, and the Haradrim was a terrible stereotype of Muslim people, and that's not that long ago. And now they're saying Tolkien was woke. Well, he was a forward-thinking English gentleman who treated everyone with politeness and fairness.
And he also fought against the Nazis too, Grim.
No,
World War One, he fought against the Germans. He was asked the Germans contacted him and wanted his sort of support or blessing, because he was such a revered linguist and historian as well. And he basically told them in a very English way to fuck off.
Yeah, to piss off.
Yeah. Tolkien, he was a very forward-thinking guy. He was a Christian. He was a Roman Catholic. He was a decent guy. I don't know where some of the accusations come from. And some people have brought up, they said, well, Tolkien wouldn't have liked it if they'd have known the homosexual actor had played one of his characters. And I'm like, I don't think Tolkien would have minded. I think Tolkien would have been so fucking honored to have his work translated to a filmed media where people who had never read the books and maybe never had time to read the books could actually sit down and kind of see his stories come to life and kind of digest them in a more visual and audio format. I think he'd be so happy to do that. In fact, I don't know with a few exceptions, and there are quite a few writers out there who don't want their shit translated to film. I think most people would be pretty happy if you wrote something and it did make it to the big screen, because even if the movie was more or less shit, that would still get interest in your books.
I think if he was alive today and he could see the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the movies that that got made, he would cry and he would be so thankful that it got put in like that with the loving care that they actually did do for the movie.
That's the irony of the whole thing. Is Peter Jackson specifically said that they were careful not to inject their own personal politics into those stories, that they wanted to adapt it as faithfully as possible.
Yes.
Honor the source
material. And they honored him.
Yeah.
And so, and I know he would cry, he would tear up. He's like, thank you. I'm so honored. Like, because I've read a bunch of stuff, and my parents were super into Tolkien too. So I read a bunch of the books when I was younger. And that's how I actually had to do a report on him in school one time too. So
I mean, he had his commentary, but he did it artistically through allegory. Some of his World War One experiences are in there. Some of his religious thoughts are in there. He wanted to find a way to preserve and even create more European mythology. One of the elf languages is based on Finnish, and there's a lot of the Kalevala in the Silmarillion. There's a lot there, but it's not the kind of crude and obvious propagandizing that some people seem to want these days.
Yeah, well, like what Amazon's gonna do with Lord of the Rings. So
I'm so glad you said that, Jed, because that leads us into our next topic. All right. So the other Lord of the Rings news that we have. There's more Lord of the Rings news this week. Evidently, on June 3rd, a petition that called for Amazon to keep nudity out of their Lord of the Rings series was created. The change.org petition was created by Catholic Memes and is directed at Amazon Prime and Lord of the Rings director J.A. Bayona. Petition reads, Amazon Prime has an upcoming Lord of the Rings series set before the trilogy. They have hired intimacy coaches and have asked the actors be comfortable with doing nude scenes in the castings. Tolkien's work is truly wholesome and packed with incredible Christian symbolism. He was a devout Catholic, and his memory does not need to be stained with gratuitous nudity or even nudity in the slightest, it continues. it concludes Tolkien's creations have always been mostly family friendly. Keep it that way.
So it's
Okay.
it's going to be a lot of nude stuff in.
Okay, well, let's go one at a time so we're not stepping over on everybody.
Chase, go first then.
Okay, you go ahead.
Me? No. Is it going to be like Game of Thrones nude scenes? Is that what they're trying to say here?
Yes.
I
Jeff
strongly
Bezos
suspect.
wants Game of Thrones. He said, "I want a Game of Thrones." So they're gonna.
But for fuck's sake, you don't need to use nudity in every single fucking thing. It's not that important.
Well, I mean, as titillating as the idea of seeing a bunch of naked elves and Maiar and everything else getting together and, creating each other, so to speak.
Yeah. I just want to see a good story and respect to the source material. That's all I want to see.
You don't want some orc on human sex.
If I want to see that, I can just go online on the internet and find some fanfic if I want to watch that shit.
Wait a minute. There's a scene in one of the Hobbit extended films where there's all the dwarfs naked playing in a fountain.
No, there's not.
I swear there was.
What?
I think you dreamed that.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember that.
Oh, okay. I can't remember if that was like a dream sequence or if that was
just your fantasy.
Were you watching?
No. I remember seeing it in one of the films.
Squeaka, I really have no idea if there would be male or female nudity. I'm kind of guessing there would be a good mix of both if they are trying to shoot for the Game of Thrones type thing. Although I did notice that Game of Thrones male nudity dropped quite a bit. Actually, all nudity dropped in that show quite a bit after the first few seasons because I guess they figured, okay, we've already hooked the audience. Now we don't need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I find it ironic that they think that the wholesomeness comes from Christianity or something, considering the majority of the Lord of the Rings is based on old pagan mythology and so on. I'm looking forward to seeing how Elrond was conceived.
It is a prequel, so we probably will get the origin of all these characters, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The further back you go in the lore, the more grandiose and religious and mythological and abstract it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of having a grim and gritty sex and violence prequel doesn't make any sense thematically.
I agree.
Well, the Valyar, queens of the Valar, they had to come into existence somehow. So, and there was 7 of them or 6 of them?
Do we need that backstory, or can't we just have some adventure and escapism? do we have to find out where everything comes from? Do we need that?
Come on. You haven't read the Silmarillion?
I didn't care where the characters in Lord of the Rings came from. I was just invested in them, and I went on their journey with them, and that's.
But
the
wonderful thing about the Silmarillion is you can read it and still have no more idea of what happened when you finished.
True. Although there's some really good key sequences in there, like the battle at Iron Hill and all these other things.
The more recent books taken from Tolkien's notes, like Children of Húrin and so on, those are more adaptable, I think. Am I the only one who's read that? Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry. I
read
read
it.
Christopher Shelton.
I read it a very long time ago. So.
Guilty is charged over
Yeah.
here.
Well, Jed, I heard you and Ash going on and on about all your different editions of Lord of the Rings. So I know you guys have got something to say about this.
Ash, you go first, brother.
I found the scene. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Oh, really? Were they actually nude in it?
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, no.
It's from the film. I knew I wasn't crazy.
I'm going to have to go watch it then. just to see if it's
yeah.
there. Just I can't remember.
Probably just found the music video for Sex Dwarf by Softail.
No, it's where Thorin and Gandalf. I think either Thorin or Gandalf and Smith from Matrix.
Hugo Weaving.
Those characters were talking, and then is like cuts to a scene of all the dwarves bathing in like this huge fountain in Rivendell.
Beautiful CGI. Jesus
But
Christ, that's beautiful CGI.
But they weren't.
I'm watching the
weren't
scene
making-
now.
But they weren't making a big deal out of it, were they?
No,
Not really. It was
No.
just
See,
humorous.
that's the difference. That's the difference. It was humorous, and they weren't dwelling on it. They are going to dwell on it in the show.
They're just
For those of you in
dwarf
the
and
audience,
dwarves.
for those of you in the audience who want to see that, not right now, please watch our show, but for later, if you want to
For those
see
of
it,
you in the audience turned on by midget porn, here's
it's not that bad.
Oompa Loompa porn, you know.
It's
so-
literally like a split second.
Humpa Lumpa, you mean?
That'll be coming in the next Willy Wonka remake.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
Oh,
my
God.
god.
I wasn't even going to bring that up, but yeah, maybe we should.
Now I have bad pictures in my head. Thank you.
Oompa Loompa,
No,
you are
no,
racist.
no.
No,
Oh my god.
no.
Ugh.
Well,
I
sorry for
think-
making everyone want to bleach their eyeballs.
I think we're overlooking something really important here,
Yes.
which is if you can have a petition to remove nudity from a TV show, can you have a petition to add nudity to a TV show?
I
Well,
think you should. Otherwise, there's the double standard.
Yeah.
And
That's
what show
true.
would you add gratuitous nudity and sex to?
Oh, that is a
Spider-Man.
good
No,
question.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Not Spider-Man.
well, if it's a TV show, like a long-running series, I can't say Westworld because there was some in that. There was a lot of it in that. Never mind.
Fuller House.
Those kids are too young.
I don't think about that one.
Maybe no, not The Walking Dead. Nobody wants to see naked zombies.
Oh, go on certain places and you'll find out different.
Rule 34, of course there is.
Jed,
Yeah,
I don't
there
want to
is.
know where you go.
There is XXX parody stuff.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
is. So
Some thick orc women. I don't think orc women have ever actually entered the equation. To be honest, I don't recall any orc women in the books or in the
How
movies.
sexist. How dare they?
Guess so. I don't know.
oh yeah.
They're
You
never
see,
mentioned.
when a daddy orc and a mummy elf hate each other very much, they have a special kind of struggle.
Oh my gosh!
Let's make this into a book, man.
And
We
then 9
almost
months
already
later,
have.
a goblin is born.
I
Oh,
think we're spiraling again.
we're going into Goblin Slayer anime now, or is it just tabletop RPGs? Oh,
I'm just trying to outdo Jed in bringing the tone down.
Speaking of Goblin Slayer, I just came across that light novel. Good God.
Goblin Slayer is great. I won't hear a word against it.
no, I won't either. I love Goblin Slayer. I like how it did actually manage to capture the Dungeons and Dragons feel. Okay, how were orcs created in Lord of the Rings? Well, my understanding of how orcs were created is they were basically fallen elves who were corrupted by not necessarily Sauron. Who was it? Melkor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
so
seems to be the general trait across all fantasy. Like the orcs are usually like corrupted elves or like evolved differently elves or something to do with elves.
mhm.
Ash and Elder Scrolls, why who they did that too.
Yep,
But
I know.
the people that are underground were different versions of elves over time.
Yeah,
Oh,
what in Elder Scrolls, the Falmer were actually the snow elves, but then they were blinded by the one of the other elven races, and that's Elder Scrolls isn't a whole other slippery slope to get into. But yeah, when it comes to orcs, in Elder Scrolls, yeah, it's a sort of corrupted or side evolved race of elves as well. So. It's like all fantasy takes from Lord of the Rings, because like Lord of the Rings is like a fantasy golden standard, so to speak.
Yes, Kylock, there is someone stronger than Sauron. He was actually originally corrupted by Melkor, who originally was corrupted by Morgoth, as Wizard Jim puts. What's it? Yeah, I believe that's right. Wizard Jim, am I right? It's Morgoth, then Melkor, then Sauron.
Yeah,
That's
Sauron
me.
wasn't. he wasn't the end all badass. There was people more powerful than him.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, there was.
By the time you get to the Third Age, Sauron is like the last one.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, what the Amazon series is going to pick up on. I don't know if they're going to go as far back as Morgoth, but they're definitely going to probably touch on Melkor.
I'm really scared of that show, dude.
Do you think
You're
they're
gonna have
gonna?
him.
Sorry, do you think they're gonna have the guy that forged the rings? I've forgotten his name. He was
That
in
was
the
real.
Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games.
Yeah, the games, Shadow Mordor. Oh, so good games, though.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Oh, no kidding.
What's his name?
Like, I would love to have a show based on that game instead.
Yes, that would be so good.
So much better than what we're gonna get from Amazon, man. I just know that that's a fact.
Yeah.
There are 2 bad robot guys running this thing. So.
I'll give it a chance. I mean, it might
I
be
will,
good
yeah.
as a fantasy series if we ignore that it's got anything to do with Lord of the Rings. So
Just try to look at it as a different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
Oh
I'm
my
wrong.
gosh.
I
But
really
I did try to do that once with the sequels. Didn't work.
Celebrimbor, that's the one. Celebrimbor was the guy that forged all the rings of power, and he makes an appearance as a support character in both games.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're going to have Celebrimbor was, I believe, in the books as well. I'm not sure if it was mentioned or not. I've heard Gary from Nerdwallet talk about him, just a tad, just briefly mentioned. But yeah, it'd be awesome to see Celebrimbor in a show and actually watch him forge the rings if they did that.
Kind of like if my history is correct, and I'm probably not, I'm sure Wizard Jim or somebody will correct me. Gandalf originally is not necessarily one of the strongest, because you had all the wizards. You had the 2 blue wizards who were never mentioned. You had the brown wizard, which was Radagast. You had Tom Bombadil, who I believe was the same kind of entity that Gandalf is, and they're grays, I think. And then, of course, you had Saruman, who was the white wizard at the time, and they were
such a good actor and character.
I think
all of them
Tom
were.
Bombadil's something older and more powerful, but also, unhinged. But they're not really wizards. They're Maiar, which is kind of like angels.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You actually have like the Maiar and the Valar and all these other entities. This is all stuff that's going back into the Silmarillion, which...
Yeah, I haven't read
Lord.
that book yet. I really have to get to read that book.
And there were 2 red wizards that went into Harad to try and counter the corruption there, but we never hear anything about that.
No, those are the 2 blues that we never hear anything about either.
So many characters we haven't heard about.
Well, yeah, I mean, they put as much as they could into those films. But,
but still did a good job.
And there's a lot of people who will still bitch that Tom Bombadil should have made it into the Lord of the Rings films. I'm kind of glad he wasn't in it, because I kind of think he complicates things. Because then, of course, the question is, well, how come Tom Bombadil didn't do this and this and this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the character who I think is most taken from the Kalevala. I can't remember the name of the god in that, but there's a god that basically sings
Ukko.
everything into being.
Ukko.
No, not Ukko.
Not
Someone
Ukko.
else.
Okay.
No. But he
T-shirt,
basically sings the world into being, and that's kind of what Tom Bombadil does.
Yes, Jed?
I sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought that if they would have done that, that would have been too easy of an out for them in certain situations.
Yeah, believe me, I have never
It would
heard
have
the
been
end.
Yeah.
I've never heard the end of fuckers who keep saying, how come the Eagles didn't just take them to Mount Doom to start with? And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. You don't know. You haven't read it. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Movies are so
People question me all the time, like, why did they walk through the whole? I was like, Do you know the point of a journey?
Well, not only that, but didn't you not notice like that they had all those Nazgul who could fly?
Yeah.
And there were other things that could fly, and it's not like Sauron.
Eagles are symbols of America, so they insisted that they pick themselves up by their bootstraps and cope.
Yeah.
No help for you, peasants.
Except for the 11th hour when we can jump in and help out.
Yeah, steal all the glory.
Yeah, basically.
Allegory for World War One and World War Two. There.
I need to take a watch party again with all the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, you should.
It's so long since I did it last time. Last time I did that was at the cinema. It was like before the last Hobbit movie. We had like a whole session of all the other movies extended.
Mm-hmm. My friends and I, we tried to have a watch party with all the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, and we blew out after like somewhere the first hour of the Two Towers extended version, because it was just kind of like, it's so hard to sit down there and watch that much film.
Yep, takes a good half a day.
Really? I don't think so.
Sometimes it drags on, and sometimes you have a little bit of action, but then it goes action, slow, action, slow, action, slow.
I can sit down many hours to watch a 4-hour movie if I ever wanted to.
Well, you got 3 of them right there, and that's the thing I was going to say earlier is the movies are so dense. And if you're trying to adapt these books, you got to leave some of the stuff out. You can't get it.
Yeah,
they'd all be 7 hours long if you adapted it exact. So
if not even longer.
right, not even longer. Right. So I think Peter Jackson picked the best stuff, and he made it digestible for everybody, and it worked. It's probably the last great trilogy we've seen.
Yeah,
Peter Jackson
Barrow White wasn't in it either.
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead, Jed. No, go ahead, Jed.
Peter Jackson said there was even stuff that he had in the script that he had to cut out.
Yeah, of course.
Really good stuff that he wanted to put in, but he goes, the movies were already too long as it was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, even the slow
with the Hobbit. I'm sorry, Ash. The Hobbit, he had to add a bunch of stuff to pad it out for 3 movies. It was like the opposite problem.
I was just going to say, even the slow stuff in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, they're still really good because it just adds to the world building. It gives you more information about character backstories, about the world, about the history, the lore, and I think the Lord of the Rings is like the golden standard of world building and adapting books to films.
See, I had a Cliff's Notes cheat sheet with me for each one of those films. Edson from my channel went with me, and he's a huge Tolkien guy, and he's read all that stuff a million times. So he would go, oh, well, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Okay. And what's missing is this, this, and that. But it doesn't matter. Because, they added this, and that's wrong. And then, it was great. I was like, okay, I don't have to read these now.
And we got to find out that Legolas could run on falling stones. He doesn't weigh anything. He can basically just fly in air.
Kylok, we don't know if they're going to show Calagon the Black. I'm not sure how far back into the Silmarillion they're going to go. I'm hoping
have they announced how far they will go?
Well, I think it's 1,000 years before Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
So I think this was around the time or a bit before they forged the Rings of Power. I'm not too sure, but 1,000 years before Lotor.
Okay. The only thing we know is that there will be boobs.
There will be boobs.
What did you say, Grim?
So the only thing we do know is that there will be boobs.
Elven orgies.
It's gonna be some porn there. It's gonna be some porn for people.
Elves are too skinny.
Yeah.
Elves are the OnlyFans girls, So.
I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. As far as actually there being nudity in the shows or not. I'm sorry. I like the human form or the fantasy human form, I guess in this case. So the nudity doesn't really bother me. I do kind of see where people are wanting to go with, keeping it kind of PG with the kids and all. So I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, like, yeah, on the one hand, I feel like, yeah, this should be a series that you could, be able to show to your kids, because you could show them this, and then you could show them the movies, and you could just get them all up into Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and everything else.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I kind of feel like this is kind of aimed at a more mature audience to begin with, because it's like kids don't read the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
No, like I don't mind nudity, but I just want him to respect the story and Tolkien and everything. That's what I care about. Just respect the stories, the characters, and don't fuck that up. They can do whatever they want to do with nudity, but please respect. Have some respect for the story and characters.
Squeaker, I'm sure Ash will be perfectly happy if there's just a dwarf orgy in a pool somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Do you think some of the characters?
Why not a dwarf and a hobbit orgy?
Which one of the characters is going to have the hairy hobbit foot fetish?
Hobbits have Brie Larson feet, so just saying. They got that one crooked toe,
some
like
people
Brie
like
Larson.
I'm pretty sure Rosie Cotton shaves her feet. So.
I did want to add. I think with the nudity, if they made 2 cuts of it, they made like a regular cut and an R-rated cut with the nudity for the adults, then they could split it between the age demographics that way. But even then, it's a already established fantasy world that's so rich in history and lore. You don't need nudity. I mean, Lord of the Rings again is a perfect example of that. I mean, if that had nudity in, I'm sure people wouldn't bat an eyelid, because it could fit in some of the scenes, but it didn't need it. Lord of the Rings was perfect the way it is. If there was much more content to those films, we'd love them just the same. But I personally think it's not needed. If it is, fine. If you want to make it for a younger demographic, cut it out and make a PG cut or whatever. So that's a way to appease everyone somehow. But not everyone's gonna love everything. So there's always gonna be that one person out there that doesn't like it.
And Squeaker, I'm sorry.
I was going to say to the Squeaker, I think it's. I see what you're saying there, but I think that there is a biological difference, which leads to a difference in censorship rules and so on around the world, because women, frankly, have more secondary sexual characteristics that are more obvious than male secondary sexual characteristics. With men, it's either PG or Wang, right? and nothing in between. And for whatever reason, censorship rules are a lot tighter around penises.
And I do want to. I do want to point out too. Not too long ago on Skinamax, we had the Spartacus series, which I love that show immensely. But anybody who watched that show will have to recognize and agree with the fact that there was a lot of dangly bits on display constantly in that show. A lot. In fact, I would say there was more male frontal nudity in that show than female frontal nudity.
Well, it's Spartacus. What do you expect? So,
well, I mean, and here's the thing too. I watched all the behind the scenes stuff, and yes, all those guys who had their schlong hanging out, those are prosthetics that they have to have specially made for them to wear.
2 words. Dirk Diggler.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Spartacus from 2010 and up, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the original actor from the first season and stuff.
He was very good.
He was.
And that's the thing, though. But, I mean, nobody said shit about that. Not at the time, and not
Didn't
currently,
care.
and they're not defending it now. But, anytime they want to point out, oh, well, all the female nudity, I'm like, you had an entire series here full of dick.
Yeah.
And nobody said anything.
No, because it was a good show and we didn't. None of us fucking cared about that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I get it. You're over female nudity being used to lure in male viewers, and I would kind of agree. I think if the nudity is represented equally on both sides, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see erections. Obviously, I don't think anybody does.
But
mean, I'm just-
what about male nudity to lure in female viewers? Because then
Well-
there's that flip side, the other side of the coin.
Mhm.
Like, to be honest, like, hey, put in Chris Hemsworth and Henry Cavill, I'm gonna have a field day with that. Like, I won't be able to take my eyes off the screen. But then again, on the other side, if they have beautiful female actresses, then it will be exactly the same case. So it'll be appealing to all demographics.
Yeah, and a lot of I don't think it goes stated enough. Like a lot of people will bitch about the women on all these different movies and everything like that, how the actresses have to starve themselves and all these other things in order to get in shape for these parts. I'm like, well, you got guys like Chris Hemsworth, who, I mean, the dude was basically eating chicken, like what, 3 or 4 times a day, and working out like a fucking monster to get that build for Thor. And all of those guys who did all those MCU movies had to maintain strict diets, strict workout regimens in order to maintain that physique. And the other part of that too, it's not just because they wanted to look good, it's also for costuming reasons. I recall as far back as the first Batman movie with Keaton. Keaton said in an interview, he said, I had to maintain a certain weight and I couldn't get above or below it, because if I got above it, the suit would be too tight and it wouldn't fit correctly. If I got below it, he says, I'd be flopping around inside that Batman costume. And being a dude who is on the heavy side, I can say that, I've done plenty of dieting in my time, and it's hard. It's fucking hard.
Well, yeah. Don't forget though, they don't have to do anything else except they're being paid well just to do that. I mean, that's part
True.
of it. They don't have to go to another job until they're ready. But
yeah, that's true.
Robert Pattinson, this is, talking about guys filling out the bat suit. It's the opposite of this whole thing, right? I watch as he flip flops. The stuntmen are bigger than him and whatnot.
I disagree with Squeaker there. This idea that the hypersexualized, idealized male form is also for men, I don't think that's true. Certainly not my experience watching Marvel films with women and Chris Hemsworth coming on screen. It's the women cooing and getting all gooey over him. It's not the men saying, "Oh, that's great. That's a fine example of the male form. That's what I want to be."
We came up in the 80s. We were watching Schwarzenegger and Stallone, all oiled up with nothing on, running around blowing shit up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you okay, Jed?
Yeah, my puppy hit the button, so.
Aww.
Yeah. He likes to come over and do that while I'm streaming and hit the button sometimes. So.
He wants your attention. You're not paying enough attention to him.
Yeah.
Puppers.
I think the puppy wants to guest on the panel. Bring on the puppy.
Yeah. And okay, but I mean, getting back to the original topic about the nudity in Lord of the Rings, I just want them to do a good fucking show.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I think that's all anybody wants, is for it to be a good fucking show. If there's nudity in it, make it appropriate and not gratuitous just for the sake of being nude. I mean, I believe in the actual written books. I can't remember the name of the character, but he comes upon one of the female elves. I don't think it's Galadriel, but it's one of the older elves bathing or dancing in a wood naked or something.
That's Goldberry, Tom Bombadil's wife.
Yeah. And I mean, in that kind of context, it's fine. Because it's like, okay, not only is it in the books, but it's script appropriate, because you're a naked primordial creature dancing in the woods, almost it feels appropriate because it's like like an expression of freedom in that way, or one bathing in a brook or something, you know. Now, if they just have characters walking around nude all the time, just to show off parts, then okay, that's context, man, context.
Yeah. Oh god damn! I'm cooking in here. It's so warm.
Same here.
I mean, I never thought of Norway as being a warm place. James.
Oh, it is. When it's warm here, it's fucking warm, dude. Either it's like super cold or it's super warm.
Do you guys not invest in air conditioning?
I don't have it here. I have it at my dad's place, but he lives like 2 hours away, and I don't have a car.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Most Europeans don't bother until you get down to like Spain or something because it's just not worth it most of the time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but Graham, it has to be hot there.
Well, we went from frost to 26 degrees centigrade like overnight. It's starting to cool off a bit again now, but it's very humid. That's the
I'm
thing
looking
about
at your
Britain.
background. But I'm looking at your background. It has to be really warm there.
Yeah, the problem with Britain though is the humidity. It's 'cause it's always wet and hot. Yeah.
I'm
So
in the Northeast.
horrible.
We kind of same weather. It's bitch hot and sticky.
And Jace, you got a fan?
Yeah, thank you, Cardinal. Thank you. Favorite Norwegian.
I have 3 favorite Norwegians. I have Andre, I have Jace, and then I have Stig Kenobi, who I haven't gotten the panel
That's
with.
so cool.
Hmm?
And we all are Norwegians, and that is so cool, man. And Andre lives in Oslo, and my best friend lives in Oslo, and I'm gonna move to Oslo. So everyone wants to be in Oslo.
Dax. We could know some Norwegian. Lay it on Jace, because Jace knows Norwegian. I don't know why he would know Norwegian.
Me neither. Or I can say it in Norwegian. Jeg vet ikke. That means I don't know.
Yeah.
See.
Hmm?
See.
See, are you trying to speak Spanish? Ash?
Maybe.
Yes? Maybe? Ash, have you tried to turn it on and off in Indian?
No, I have not tried to turn it off and on, but I will definitely try.
Wait, I know that voice. You tried to get my tax details the other day.
No, that was not me. That must have been my colleague Dave from Qatar.
That is very interesting.
Go.
This is Flink Pinke.
Flink pinky.
Jace, translate.
That is actually Danish. Flink pike. That is actually Danish. Flink
it's Danish.
Pike. That is Norwegian. Flink pike.
Danish.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Good girl, basically.
Oh,
Or yeah.
well, okay.
Good girl.
Good girl. Squeaka. I think you're gonna have to provide some context for that one, Squeaka.
So was Pika Pika.
Okay, so I only know Danish. It's like, yeah, because we don't say pike in Norway mostly. We just say jente, and that is girl.
Well, I don't want to end the stream before we get to our last topic. And I know that
More Lord of the Rings. Is it more Lord of the Rings or something else?
It's something else. It's something else. And I think a lot of you guys will have something to chime in on this one. I know Ash especially, he's been just grinding the axe for this one. So without further ado, boom.
Oh no! I know. I love the first game.
Here we
Fuck me. Fuck! I fucking hate that. She looks so fucking terrible. What have they done to my crush?
Oompa Loompa.
I'm like, she really likes them chicken McNuggets, don't she?
Who wants a blowjob of that? Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, jeez, Jace, come
Well,
on
you
now.
know, technically, there's no real difference between the inside of a woman's mouth and the inside of a man's mouth. So,
I thought you were going to say
It's
something
just
else.
all about the technique.
You know what the bad thing about this is? The person that they motion capture from the first game, she is extremely beautiful. Okay,
Yeah,
and
she
then they
is.
do this for the second, and they're like, "Oh, let's do this,"
And it looks
then-
unnatural. It looks unnatural. It doesn't look real. It looks
But-
terrible.
yeah.
Before we dig ourselves into a hole too far here, I'm given to understand that this whole post was a bit of a troll because the image is actually just a bad screenshot from the PS4 version, not the new one. And the post that was referenced in the original troll post goes to a really old, no longer really available post from a game site talking about the original version. So it's a bad picture, seems to be the case. So
Look, did she get skinnier somehow on the PS5 or something? Sure, I'm just
yeah,
saying.
there are some differences to look at. For me, what's interesting about this story is how it was so believable that they would butch up the character, because they do that in so many other games. So people are kind of ready and waiting and expectant for someone to come along and shit up their favorite characters. You know.
Well, and I've seen long shots from the trailer and stuff, and Aloy does look a lot more skinny, boyish with that face. I mean, let's be honest now. I mean, Aloy kind of looks like Jace with red hair now in the armor. It's your turn, Jace.
Well, okay.
Hey, Rod Thunderhearts. Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you, man. Nice. Hail to you.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like I don't know if this is a continuing trend for all of our games, our comics, our films, or everything else. But yeah, this
That's my response.
degendering of women. Oh, there you go.
Oh, they don't
my
want
response.
beautiful women. Yeah, they don't want beautiful women. So
I'm a nun from Star Wars, smoking and drinking from the sequels. That's my true identity.
Your true identity.
Yeah,
As
that's
you've
Ash-
seen some days.
Ash, I know you were burning to get after this, so man, I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn you loose on this.
Yes. Okay. So, I don't have an issue with the new character design. I think it looks okay. If you compare the first game to the second game, there's leaps and bounds of technological improvement and development. I mean, you can see that in the fidelity of skin texture, hair, and outfit quality, and the world quality, and everything like that. Yes, the face model does look ever so slightly plump, and her body. Her body does look slightly bigger, but however, I played through the first game to the point I've got the platinum trophy, so I'd like to think I know a lot about the first game. And come to think of it, the second game takes place about 6 months after the first game, so she would have done so. The events of the first game would have like toughened her up, bulked her up a bit. There's 6 months time gap between the two games, so you'd think she would have bulked up. I think again, she looks fine. I don't have an issue with it. I watched the gameplay when that came out. The gameplay looked phenomenal. I'm going to be trying to get the game as early as possible to play the hell out of that. I love the Horizon games. I love the world, the universe, the story, the lore, world building, etc., etc. I think there's people are making a mountain out of a molehill, so to speak. That's just me personally, because the way I look at it is increasing graphical fidelity and quality and textures. And if you put the two images of the two games aside, you can tell that instant. It's like night and day difference. So that's sort of my spiel about it.
Yeah.
So-
Grim has actually found a YouTube site where they compare the two. So you can see side-by-side comparison. Obviously, I can't show it on this. Otherwise, we'll get copyright claimed, and I don't want that. But you guys can look at it after you stop watching the show. But no, don't go watch it right now and stop watching the show. Keep watching the show, damn it.
So basically,
Well, at least it into a Spider-Man one when they changed the whole face.
So basically, they turned her into Abby.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, that's what she looks like. She looks like Abby. They basically turned her into Abby.
Not in the body though. And like I say, the original post that sparked this controversy was a bit of a troll. I do think there are changes in the body, but like I said, the real thing to consider is how easy it was to troll everybody because everyone's just gotten so used to that happening.
Yeah,
the characters. I think you lose something. Yeah, I think you lose something also in this pursuit of absolute reality in graphics and so on, because you hit the uncanny valley, which you don't if you go for more stylized graphics and so on. So you can actually lose something with technological gains until we hit that point of perfect fidelity, which I don't know that we ever will.
Not in our lifetimes, but certainly we will.
Well, you say that they're already using photogrammetry technology for the next Elder Scrolls game.
Right. Well, I'm already I'm going to be 48 pretty soon, Ash. I should clarify. Not in my lifetime.
Oh, be quiet! Oh, be quiet! You're going to see the next Elder Scrolls.
You think so?
Yeah,
well, you're younger than I am, so.
It'll be online only, and it'll be a retool of the previous Elder Scrolls game, but you will.
I do keep wondering if they're going to use the exact same engine that they've been using pretty much since Fallout 3.
It's the creation engine with just a few little sprinkles of different in it.
Oh dear God.
Oh my. Thinking about the same words.
Well, gentlemen, we have almost hit the 2-hour mark. I think we've had some we've had some really fun shit.
That was really nice to be here, man. Thank you.
Well, guys, make sure you plug all your channels in the in the thing so that we know who's who.
Okay.
Let's kind of go one at a time. We'll start with you, Mr. Grimm.
So my channel is Postmortem Video here on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at Grimasaur. And if you want to check out the games and stuff that I make, it's postmort.com.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Geek Time, Keith.
Howdy. I just want to point out one last thing. Today is the beloved, the national treasure herself, Kathleen Kennedy's wife. So everyone, wish her a happy 68th birthday.
Oh, we've got to wish her a happy 68th birthday. Hang on, here we go. Here's our birthday wish for Kathleen Kennedy. There we go.
Perfect. It's probably her bestest birthday ever.
Bestest birthday ever.
You can find me at Geek Time TV. We do a live stream on Tuesday nights, which will be moving soon. But for now, it's still Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I show up on channels like this and Pop Culture Minefield and Fat Steven. And I just, we do stuff. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you very much, Geek Time. All right. And we've got Mr. Esh. You've got your channel.
Yes.
Yeah, Ash,
which shall I put it
in? Can you put ours into Ash?
Hang on, Jed. I'm not a magician.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just a humble British Indian. I'm not a magician.
He's but a humble meme farmer.
Okay. Okay, bear with. That's my personal one, and
Where else can we see you?
The second one is Pop Culture Archivist. I do have my own personal channel. I haven't done. I haven't done much on that, like in a while. I should be. Oh God.
You've got an admirer, Ash.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't continue.
You flustered the poor boy, Squeaka.
I've lost
what
my
you've
train
done.
of thought.
Remember what we said in the last stream, Ash.
Oh no, Ash.
Remember what we said in the last stream, Ash.
I don't know. What did we say? I can't think of right. So you can find me every Sunday on the on Pop Culture Archivist every Sunday. You can find me on Clobbering Times every Thursday for the Global Geek Gang. I play Fortnite every now and then with Fat Steven and the crew over there. I'm here every Saturday. I'm on Geek Tropology's channel every Saturday, just before this stream, actually. And yeah, I'm about the fandom here, there, and everywhere. So you can find me somewhere. And I'm on Twitter as well.
Oh, we love you, man.
Twitting away.
And I guess we would have put Jed on next. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The start of my week, it starts on Thursday with the Global Geek Gang on Clobbern's channel. And then on Friday, if Father Christopher doesn't have to go to the parish or do any church duties, on with Father Christopher in the morning before Friday Night Tights. And then afterwards, if Nick feels like it, he does his comic book stream. I'm on there. And then right afterwards, I go to Foulball's channel, and we just blow the doors off of things over there. Yeah, we do, literally.
Come and cuddle.
Yeah. Mike, no. But here we go. And so then on Saturday, me and Ash are both on Pablo's, and then we come over here for yours, All
right.
And then tomorrow is, we don't know what we're gonna do yet because my guests haven't gotten back with me yet, so it may just be a random ass stream. So
I'll show up if I can. And
Okay.
that leads us into Mr. Jace from Norway.
Thank you. Should I post my channel or?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not a mod or anything, so I don't know if it works on your channel. If I post
it should be fine.
Okay, then I will try.
No. If not, then
did it work? I have no idea if it worked. Did it work?
Well, let me see if I can mod you. Worst case scenario.
Real quick. I can grab it real quick.
Yeah, okay. That'd be good. Oh, and hey, look out there in the audience. I didn't see him before. Sven, the Naked Nordic Ninja, dude. Hey, it's good to see you, man.
Well, yeah, in the meantime, you can find me at 540 Studio. That's my YouTube channel with my company. We are doing podcasts every Monday. And I do random after show streams. Sometimes I'm trying to find a schedule. And you can find me sometimes here now, Fat Steven, Pop Culture Minefield, and stuff like that. And hashtag fuck you, Disney. Thank you very much. And I just want to thank you for having me on, man. It was a pleasure. And I'm happy my internet did not disappear.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've had problem with that too this last week or so I understand.
All right, I guess that leaves me. So, folks out there in the chat,
nobody cares about this guy.
Nah,
just
nobody
here
cares
to
about
get
me.
some clout.
Yeah, I'm just a clout chaser. Everybody knows that. No, I'm Internet Ronin, T-shirt historian. Yeah, I've got my Saturday show, which obviously you guys know about, or you wouldn't be attending it right now. We are going to be doing something special on Monday. I've got my friend Glenn Baisley, who's going to be on. He is a film director, and he is also a blood relation to the late Herb Trimp. So if you're interested in film or you're interested in comic books, I definitely recommend that you pop in. We're going to have some other comic book guests like Stone Loki. We're going to have Clobberin' Time. We're probably going to have Jed, because I know he's a comic book guy.
Yeah, I am.
So, yeah. If you're a comic book fan, you need to pop in, listen to some stories about Herb Trimp that you're probably not going to be able to hear anywhere else. And, of course, get to hear all about my friend. Yeah, it'd be great. And Tuesday mornings, early in the morning for me, not so early for Mr. Grimm, but Mr. Grimm and I, we have just started a new stream, which is called Dungeons and Discussions, where we talk about tabletop RPGs, most specifically the Dungeons and Dragons and 3.0, 3.5, Pathfinder, 5th edition, and OSR rules, as well as various other games, which we'll get around to talking about in the future. But so far, we're just Dungeons and Dragons in itself is so big. There's so much to mine right there. So join us on Tuesday mornings, and maybe we'll have some special guests for that. This Tuesday, we're going to be bitching about magic users and arcane casters. Last week, we bitched about divine casters.
I just want to say one thing. I really want to get into Dungeons and Dragons, man. I always want to try to learn it and stuff. I've never played it.
No, it's
Hell,
fun.
you need to come hang out with us.
Well, that's
Yeah,
two
it's
of
fun.
you that want to learn. I guess we should set up a one-shot game stream at some point, I guess.
Absolutely.
I
Dungeons and
have
Dragons
friends that
is
loves
fun.
the game, but I never got into it, so I really want to get into it. It
Well,
looks amazing.
Since most of the participants are European, I will let you guys pick your time for when's good for you, and I will just show up to either observe or play.
T-shirt. I still have my first edition books.
Does this mean you want to be on the show too, Jed?
I haven't played in a long time though, but I had them from back when I was a kid. My mom and dad taught me how. My mom taught me how to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. So I had a weird childhood. So let's just put it like that.
It's a weird childhood because your folks and everyone taught you all this cool shit. Nah, Jed, you have the most interesting backstory of any of us, I think. But
Yeah. It was just unusual how you say it. So
there you go.
how things happened, and everybody was like, "You're bullshit." I was like, "No, that actually did happen."
Yeah. The same
my
with my
gosh.
dad. My dad is the one who he's the one who made me become a geek. So
Yeah,
because he was a geek himself.
There we
Well,
go.
yeah.
There's another one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
All right.
But yeah,
Well, thank you all very much for hanging out with us. And,
always, brother.
And we will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Haba.